All right, so I'm gonna talk about a condition called wax bleed right here, and this is the condition. And the condition is caused by too much paraffin wax in the siding. Previously, they started making the siding with more paraffin wax in it. The paraffin wax, it heats up, it rises to the surface, migrates through the paint, through the primer, the siding. This was the original siding right here. It's gonna cause all the layers of paint to fail. So you can see I'll get under here. There's 3 layers of paint right here. It works its way through the layers, and you can see the layer of paint, it's causing every layer to fail. So this was a condition I discovered back in the days with Columbia Paint and Columbia Chemist. It's a condition that really there's no resolution. Eventually with Sherwin-Williams Chemist, I worked with them. We came up with a solution using a fast dry oil primer, but like any wax, like a candle, you can't paint a candle. Nothing will ever stick to a candle, like nothing will stick to silicone. So the fast dry oil primer, what we noticed doing a crosshatch test, it would stick, for the first week, but we'd go back like 3 months later and the paraffin wax would actually break down the fast dry oil primer. And it's just a temporary quick solution that does not solve the problem. You might see some houses that are splotchy on the sides. The dark spots are where the paraffin wax is working to the top and causing the paint to get darker. So you can see this whole side, this is the heavy sun side. So this gets the heat, and the heat is causing it to rise. The darker the colors, the worse the problem is. So one of the things, painting it with lighter colors so it doesn't heat up as much, is going to help you, with the situation. But look at that. What I noticed, I've actually painted houses, quite a few of the houses. What you do is just tell the customer, this has been like this for years and years and years. It's not going to just literally fall off on the ground. It's not going to fall off if you pressure wash it. If you get too close with a pressure washer, you can get underneath it and start lifting it up. So this is a perfect example, is if I pick at it, if I want to make it peel, I can make it peel. But if I didn't start peeling at it, it wouldn't have just fallen off. So that's what I tell customers when I paint their houses. Whatever you do, just, don't put tape on the house, like put Halloween decorations, Christmas decorations with tape, because you go to peel the tape off, it's actually going to pull the paint off with it. So it's a condition. It's a very common condition. It's been around, for over 20 years here in the Treasure Valley. So here's, a paint sample. This was the sample I came out here to brush on here for the customer to try to determine colors. And this was one of the, telltale signs that there might be wax bleed, with this siding right here. Is I put it on there and it just started beading. It started fish-eyeing away right here. Here's a sample right here. We'll show you up close. It's beading, so the paint's beading away. What will happen is, you can see this is all like faded. This paint job, I don't know, it's probably 10, 12 years old, maybe even more. You would assume when you come out here to pressure wash it, the water would kind of absorb into the paint and it wouldn't just like bead off. Well, what happens with wax bleed, I'll start pressure washing. This is when I first typically will notice, is I'll be pressure washing this, it'll be beading away on here like it's a brand new automobile, or like it was just freshly painted like a week ago. And that's a telltale sign, especially with an old paint job, that you had this condition of wax bleed, because the wax is coming to the surface, water doesn't stick to wax, paint doesn't stick to wax. You have a difference in surface tension between the two coatings. So the difference in surface tension causes this beading right here. So for the customer, what you'd want to tell them to do is we're going to paint this thing. I mean, the only other option, really the true resolution to this for the customer's house, is to re-side it if they wanted it to be 100% resolved. Because once again, there is no coating that's actually going to stick to this. And I've tested all kinds of coatings with multiple companies and multiple chemists from those companies, Columbia and Sherwin-Williams. We're going to paint this thing. Whatever you do, tell the customer, just leave it alone and it's not going to fall off. All right, so we've got on this side, a lot of little nicks and dings. We have the condition, the wax bleed condition here, short of just telling the customer just to replace all the siding, which would be super expensive. I can take and just do a simple, solution, and all these little nicks, I can just take triple thick peel stop, brush over these nicks. It'll help seal those edges. It's kind of like a Band-Aid to a solution that's not 100% resolvable.